Hi, everyone. I'm Kim Miller. I'm the executive director and the founder of FemArt Gallery. We are a nonprofit 501c3, and what our mission is to promote women artists. And we are so fortunate today because we are going to be interviewing Danisha Edwards. And her art is just amazing. I'm very impressed with her. And I think you're going to really like hearing what her perspective is on some of our questions. So I first want to start off with welcoming Danisha Edwards. And I would like to ask our first question, and that is, when did you know that you were an artist?
Well, hello everyone. I'm Danisha Edwards. Nice to see you guys. I knew I was an artist, I would say probably in kindergarten, when all the kids were asking me if I could start drawing pictures for them. And then I went to Oak Hill Elementary in Jacksonville, Florida. They had a phenomenal art program, Miss Miller. I love Miss Miller. So I was in art club, and she really pushed my passion for art. So I knew since a young age I was an artist.
That is great. Now, also to ask you a little bit more about your impact on the art world. I would like to begin with locally. Here in Jacksonville, how do you think your artwork contributes to our cultural identity?
Diversity. Jacksonville, we are such a melting pot, whether we know it or not, or acknowledge it or not, but there's so many cultures here. And I feel my artwork definitely hits on cultural diversity. I bring up my heritage, my background, my African roots, Cuban, everything. I merge all of that into my artwork. And I pull from like traditional art making techniques, and I try to include that in my artwork. So yes, that's how I feel it, and it influences Jacksonville's art scene.
Excellent. Now, could you also broaden that perspective a little bit? You are going to be in our upcoming show, Where the Wild Women Go, and
Yes.
we are so happy to be featuring some of your sculptures. And I would like to know if I was viewing your work from, say, China or Russia or um, Europe, Eastern Europe,
Mhm.
or anywhere in the world, if I come across your artwork in our virtual gallery, how do you hope to touch on your cultural contribution to the world?
Well, I know everybody kind of has like a fixed stereotype on kind of how they see America, or how they see African Americans, or just people in general in the United States, how we live. We're different. We're from different tribes. We move at a different, drum. So when you see me, I'm expressing my story, continuing my ancestors' legacy, telling their story. So that's what I want them to see, that we're different, we're all different, and each of us have our own story.
Beautiful. Now I would just like to ask you, I do have a different question, but I also want to touch on that piece of art behind you. Can you just tell us a
Yes.
little bit more about it?
Messenger. So with Messenger, I'm kind of hitting on to where I'm the messenger. So I have dreams, and through these dreams, I receive messages. My grandmother experienced this. My great grandmother experienced this. So it's kind of passed down. So with this art piece, I'm just expressing, delivering the message from my loved ones, just getting their story across. The raven symbolizes the messenger, because I see this a lot of my dreams. And I'm not the person, the woman's not eating the messenger. She basically is delivering the message the raven is bringing to her. And she is the tree, that knowledge. She's giving that seed out into the world. So that's what that piece is hitting on.
That's beautiful. And also, I'm really happy you're one of a few of the sculptors that belong to FemArt
Yes.
organization. And
Sculptor's life.
I'm sorry?
Sculptor's life, yeah.
That's what I wanted to touch on too. I actually would love to hear a little bit more about your artistic style and process as a sculptor. Like, if you have a preference on a medium, would you prefer to create a sculpture or would you prefer to do a painting?
Sculpture all the way. Sculpture. I mean, there's some things that I can express through paintings, but I'm a diehard sculptor. I love the smell of burnt metal. I love welding. I love woodworking. University of North Florida created this monster, so I love my metal work. If I could work in metal all day, I so would.
That is wonderful. As a UNF alumni, I really appreciate you putting that out there, that UNF created the monster. UNF created quite
Oh
a few
yeah.
of these monsters.
Yes, they did. They are responsible.
Is there any particular professor that you would like to give a shout out to, or?
Jenny and Lance, they're a husband and wife. I call them my sculpture parents. Yeah, they've definitely, they know my sketchbooks. They know how crazy I can get. Go big or go home. So yeah, I definitely give a shout out to them.
Excellent, great. Now I just have one final question, and that is, I've been asking all of the artists I interview that when they are getting prepared to do their artwork and to get into that creative mindset, are you more of a teetotaler or more of a wine drinker?
Okay, so in the mornings, I mean, I'll do tea, but if I'm doing artwork at night, it's rum. I don't do it's rum, rum, rum. I like my rum.
I love it.
A little
Okay,
pirate, yeah.
as I, I love it. As I give a cheers to you, Danisha Edwards,
Yes.
let's pretend that there's tea and rum in this little cup.
All right.
So cheers, Danisha Edwards. I can't wait to see all of your work in our upcoming show, Where the Wild Women Go. Thank you so much for this interview and for your time, Danisha. Thank you.
Thank you.